This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. I am starting with pancreatic neoplasms. This is brief regarding anatomy. Divided into four portions: head, neck, body, and tail. Before going to neoplasms, it is important to know the location and treatment management. The arterial supply, venous drainage, and relations with the pancreas. Lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage is diffuse and widespread because of the diffuse and widespread lymphatics. Early lymphatic metastasis is there. Usually, pancreatic neoplasms present very delayed, so that prognosis is poor. With the presence of diffuse lymphatic spread, also prognosis is poor. Nerve supply, rich afferent sensory nerve supply, travel to the celiac ganglion. Because of pancreatic neoplasms, severe abdominal pain. To decrease the pain abdomen, we have go for celiac plexus block. Because sensory supply passes through the celiac ganglion, we have to block the celiac plexus, that is celiac ganglia, to reduce the to block the sensory nerve fibers which carry the pain from the pancreas to the central nervous system. Interruption of these somatic fibers with the celiac plexus block can interfere with the transmission of pancreatic pain. Types of pancreatic neoplasms. Neoplasms of exocrine pancreas. That is, pancreas is divided into exocrine and endocrine pancreas. So, exocrine pancreas neoplasms, cystic neoplasms, these account for less than 1% of pancreatic cancers. That is, serous cystadenoma, mucinous cystadenoma, serous cystadenocarcinoma, mucinous cystadenocarcinoma, IPMN. Ductal adenocarcinoma, which is more than 90% of pancreatic cancers. Most common cancer in pancreas is adenocarcinoma, that is ductal pancreatic adenocarcinoma or pancreatic carcinoma. Endocrine pancreas neoplasms are neuroendocrine tumors. Those are called neuroendocrine tumors. It arises from the islet cells. It's further divided into glucagonoma, somatostatinoma, insulinoma, VIPoma. Carcinoma exocrine pancreas. Most common is ductal adenocarcinoma. Overall, 9th most common cancer diagnosis. 4th in position cancer related deaths. It is more common in men. It is 1.3 is 1%. 1. African Americans have slightly higher risk. Caribbeans. Mean age at diagnosis is 72 years. Incidence lowest in Middle East and in India. Compared with African American countries, Middle East and India is incidence is compared with those countries is low. Risk factor: smoking, occupational exposure, diabetes, obesity, diet, mixing protein and fat, infectious conditions like H. pylori or HPV, but those are not confined, that is confirmed with relation to the risk factors of pancreatic malignancy. Genetic conditions: alcohol, coffee, radiation exposure. Risk factors associated with hereditary, transmitted in families. PRSS1 gene, familial pancreatitis. STK11, Peutz-Jeghers syndrome. CDKN2A gene, familial atypical mole and multiple mole myeloma syndrome, FAMMS. CTFR gene, cystic fibrosis. BRCA2 gene, hereditary breast and ovarian cancer. MLH1, Lynch syndrome. APC gene, familial adenomatous polyposis. Pathogenesis: most cases are sporadic. Sequential pathway has been observed in the development of pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma from pancreatic intraepithelial neoplasia to invasive carcinoma. Genes that identified are PDX1 gene, useful for the development of the pancreas. KRAS2, PDKN2A, P16 gene, P53, and DPC4 SMAT gene. KRAS2 unit activated by point mutation. 95% of pancreatic cancers associated with KRAS2. The earliest event in tumorigenesis is KRAS2 gene mutation. Most common mutation which is observed in most of the malignancies is KRAS2, which is the cell cycle signal pathway control system gene. Whenever there is mutation in the KRAS2 gene, the cell cycle cell division will be altered, which leads to the malignancies. Pancreatic intraepithelial neoplasia. Architecture 2 is atopia. Yeah, I continue. 2 associated with evidence of nuclear atopia. 3 is invasive carcinoma, that is carcinoma in situ, ductal invasion is there. 1 and 2, there is no breach of the basement membrane. For 3, there is breach of the basement membrane is there. So this is called invasive carcinoma. Marked cytological atypia, cellular atypia, and loss of polarity. This is a sequence of intraepithelial neoplasia to in situ carcinoma. Initially normal. These are the normal cells with normal nucleus. This is 1A. Initial mutation is KRAS2 gene. Presence of columnar and mucin producing ductal epithelium. These are the columnar cells. Second, associated 1B. Development of papillary architecture. 2 associated with, these are the normal nucleus. This is atypia, nuclear atypia. PAN2 is associated with CDK N2A gene, associated with FMMS syndrome. This is in situ carcinoma. This is cytological atypia. Because these are the normal cells. There is loss of architecture and cell atypia. Polarity is lost. Associated with P53, DPC4 gene. Hello. Oh, yeah. Okay. నేను క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నా క్లాస్ ఏం కాదు లైట్ మార్చాలి అదే పేరు మార్చాలి ఓకే బాయ్. Periampullary carcinoma. Adenocarcinoma of the head of the pancreas. Ampulla of Vater. Distal bile duct. Cholangiocarcinoma. Second part of the duodenum. Less commonly, external cell carcinoma or pancreatic endocrine neoplasms occur in the periampullary region of the pancreas. Periampulla, where the pancreatic and bile duct is commonly open into the second part of the duodenum. This periampullary carcinoma is associated with head of the pancreas because loop at the duodenal loop, head of the pancreas is there. Ampulla of Vater, where the both common bile duct and the pancreatic duct open together. Distal bile duct, duodenum, these are associated with periampullary carcinoma. Clinical presentation, pancreatic carcinoma presentation, most of the times jaundice, around 75%, because the obstruction of the bile duct, which leads to the stasis of the bile, causes the jaundice. Weight loss 51%, abdominal pain is 39%. When pain is delayed, presentation is also delayed. Most of the time we don't recognize the jaundice. So delayed presentation is there. Weight loss. For every malignancy there is cancer cachexia. So that weight loss is there. Nausea, vomiting because of peritoneal irritation and bowel peristalsis lacking. Pruritus due to obstructive jaundice. There is a accumulation of bile salts, bile pigments in the subcutaneous tissue. Fever 3%. GI bleed 1%. Carcinoma body and tail. This late presentation. Pain and weight loss are more common for adaptive pancreas or periampular region. Due to obstruction of the passages of bile, there is jaundice is the most common presentation. But when the body and tail are involved in the malignancy, where the tumor is involved in the body and the tail of the pancreas, there is late presentation, and pain and weight loss are the most common symptoms. Which is rare. Most of the times, head of the pancreas is involved. Body and tail are involving the malignancy is very rare. Rare tumors always most of the times associated with poor prognosis. Signs: palpable distended gallbladder, Carvizer's law. Usually in gallbladder stones there is no palpable gallbladder. Whenever there is palpable gallbladder is there, rule out the gallbladder stones unless otherwise there is any obstruction in the CBD. Left supraclavicular nodes, those are called Virchow's nodes. Rousier's sign. Periumbilical lymphadenopathy, which may be palpable. These are seen in late presentation and disseminated malignancies. Whenever there is spread to the peritoneum, through the peritoneum, these tumor cells spread to the periumbilical region lymphatics. Those are called Sister Mary Joseph nodes. Peritoneal dissemination and perirectal tumor involvement may be palpable via the perrectal examination. Perirectal involvement, they are called Blumer shelf nodes. Migratory superficial thrombophlebitis, this is called Trousseau's sign. Trousseau's is the supraclavicular lymph node. Trousseau is the superficial thrombophlebitis. This is also seen in glucagonoma, some other malignancies like ovarian breast. Laboratory investigations. LFTs to rule out the liver pathology. Any liver mets, maybe elevation of the enzymes. To know the bilirubin levels. To know the liver function and PTINR level. Coagulation profile. Nutritional assessment. Tumor markers. CEA and CA99 for pancreas. CA99 is more specific. CA levels are specific and most of the times used for the bowel malignancies, colon malignancies. Most sensitive and most reliable tumor marker is CA19-9. Initially, pre-treatment, we go for evaluation of CA19-9 levels. After the surgery and follow-up purpose, monitor the CA19-9 levels to know the recurrence of the tumor. This is useful for the treatment surveillance. Imaging studies. Initial investigation is ultrasound abdomen. Investigation of the choice, that is imaging study of the choice, is triple phase CT, multi-phase multi-detector CT, non-contrast arterial and portal venous phase with 3 mm slice with coronal and 3D reconstruction. Extension to the superior mesenteric artery, celiac axis, superior mesenteric vein, portal vein complex, and contiguous structures can be determined. CT is useful to know the extent of the tumor, location of the tumor, distance metastasis, like liver metastasis, most times common. Metastasis can be assessed. Resectability also can be predicted with CT. Ultrasound is the initial investigation, but it is operator dependent. Ultrasound is not much useful in the staging of the cancer, only useful for the diagnosis and liver metastasis. CT findings. This is the CT cut section. Axial CT shows T1 pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. This is the arrow which shows this is the tumor. A diagrammatic way we are representing here. T1 tumors which are less than 2 centimeters in size. This is confined to the pancreas only. T2 tumors also size is more than 2 centimeters, but confined to the pancreas. Contrast enhanced axial CT imaging show T3 tumor which is involved common bile duct which requires stenting, because whenever there is duct involvement is there which blocks the bile passage and jaundice is there, to provide the to facilitate the passage of bile, you'll go for stenting initially to reduce the jaundice and bilirubin levels, and that which extends medially to the beyond the confines to the pancreas, beyond confines to the pancreatic head. Long arrow shows Tumor is separated from superior mesenteric vein. This is the tumor. The superior mesenteric vein. Short arrow, this shows superior mesenteric artery. There is involvement of the duodenum is there. Here. T4 tumor. Which is involvement of the superior mesenteric artery or celiac plexus. phone నేను వెళ్ళలేదు ఇవాళ డైరెక్ట్ పైకి వెళ్ళిపోయాను క్లాస్ చెప్పాను పైకి వెళ్ళాను సార్ డీజిల్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాను వచ్చాను ఇలా లేట్ క్లాస్ ఉంటే వెళ్ళాం ఓకే endoscopic ultrasound provide the diagnosis of tumor through prior to the initiation of the systemic therapy. It is useful for the identification of small tumor less than 2 cm. The role of MRI in the pancreatic cancer has been less compared with the CT. Normal pancreas is of low signal intensity on T1-weighted images and of intermediate intensity on T2-weighted images with a variable amount of fat in the gland of parenchyma. T1-weighted fat suppressed image shows adenocarcinoma of the pancreatic head. Visible as a low intensity tumor. Arrow shows the low intensity tumor. MRCP is useful for assessment of luminal pancreaticobiliary anatomy, involvement of the pancreatic duct, bile duct, extent of involvement, and useful in the cystic lesions of the pancreas. ARCP to perform biopsy and palliate jaundice, biliary stenting. ARCP is useful for diagnostic as well as therapeutic purposes to drain the obstructed CBD. ARCP shows abrupt block. Pancreatic double duct sign. MRCP shows the double duct sign which is caused by the obstruction of the tumor which obstruct the duct, so that there is dilatation of the CPD. PTC, percutaneous transhepatic cholangiogram, which is done by passing the catheter into the gallbladder to drain the bile, as well as which is useful for the diagnostic purpose. We pass the dye through the catheter, which is done under the guidance of ultrasound or CT. After passing the dye, that is which acts as contrast medium, shows the dilatation of the ducts and blockage. This is also useful in high risk patients, palliative care, but nowadays this is not used routinely because this includes somewhat high risk, because there is damage to the any vessels and sometimes dissemination of the tumor may be there. And more important is because of advanced imaging technology, PTC was abandoned now. This is done only in high risk cases for the palliative purposes to drain the obstructed CBD. AJCC classification for pancreatic malignancies. TIS is carcinoma in situ. T1 is less than or equal to 2 centimeters, confined to the pancreas. T2 more than 2 centimeters but confined to the pancreas. T3 is tumor extends beyond the pancreas but without involvement of the celiac axis or superior mesenteric artery. Tumor involves the celiac axis or superior mesenteric artery is T4, which indicates unresectability of the tumor. Nodal involvement, N1 is regional lymph node metastasis, distance metastasis M1. Stages, anatomic stage and prognostic groups. Stage 0 is tumor in situ. Stage 1 is T1. Stage 1B is T2. Stage 2A is T3. Stage 2B is T1, T2, T3 with N1 involvement. Stage 3 is T4 with any N involvement, N0 or N1. Stage 4 is any T and any N with distance metastasis, that is M1. Stage 1 and 2A have the somewhat good prognosis, but 2B to stage 4 is bad prognosis. Following the CT imaging, patient was classified into resectable, borderline resectable, unresectable categories. Whenever tumor is localized, those are resectable tumors. Localized means confined to the pancreas without involvement of any surrounding structures and arteries and veins. Fat planes also preserved. Borderline resectability is involvement of the veins, superior mesenteric vein portal vein complex, less than 180-degree tumor abatement of superior mesenteric artery, involvement of hepatic artery, అవునా నాకన్నా అయితే నేను వెళ్తాను క్లాస్ అయిపోయి వెళ్తాను 10 minutes. Superior mesenteric vein occlusion. These 4 includes borderline resectability, unresectable tumor, more than 180-degree involvement of superior mesenteric artery, presence of ascites, peritoneal dissemination. These tumors are unresectable. Staging laparoscopy. Whenever tumor size is more than 3 centimeters, significantly elevated CA99 level, uncertain findings on CT, body or tail of the pancreas tumors. I will stop here. I will continue with preoperative management and management in next class. Thank you. Put your attendance in the chat box.